Coach, maybe just recap last week's games a little bit. Good one over Valpo, and then.
I thought we played. I thought we had great intensity last week in both games. The difference between, Valpo and Detroit was, Valpo. I thought we really guarded well. I thought we were abysmal defensively against Detroit. I thought we played two good offensive games. I thought our execution was good. Very, very pleased with our shot selection, our rebounding the basketball. Was not very happy at Detroit with our turnovers. We actually shot a better percentage from the 3 line and from the floor. Out rebounded them, but had 20 turnovers. So, got to do a better job. This week. This is as busy / tough a week as we have on our schedule. You're playing a Cleveland State team that's coming off a tremendous win at UIC. Then you have a 1-day turnaround to play Loyola, and then you get UIC. So this is as challenging a week as we've had so far in terms of league play.
How difficult is it going to stay fresh with that short turnaround and keep these guys ready to go?
I wouldn't use the term fresh. I mean, it's a concern. I mean, there's no doubt it's a concern of playing, a Tuesday night game on the road. They've got 2 days to prepare. They're off the 2 days prior to us, and then we have a 1-day turnaround to play Loyola. This is a big concern week for me.
Jerry, this may be a little bit out there, but what can the league do to maybe make the schedule? I know everyone's in the same boat, but what can this league do?
Well, Dan, I think that's a fair question, and I don't think that it's appropriate for one team to play on a 1-day turnaround and another team to play on a 2-day rest. We've had that situation when we were fortunate enough to play Wright here. Wright had 3 games, played a game, off a day, play a game, off a day, and we sat around for 3 days. Was that fair to Wright State? It was not fair. It's not fair to Youngstown State to have a team that's off twice or 2 days for your 1 day. And, I call it just a common sense factor. It's not rocket science. It's common sense. It would appear to me.
Can you just talk about Ryan's play on Friday? Really gave you a lot of minutes, it appeared, and played well.
Yeah, Ryan's played really, really good in practice lately, and has gained my confidence to be able to play in games, and has done a really good job the last couple of times that he's been able to get on the floor. So I would project his minutes going up a little bit, which is deserved with the effort that he's been given in practice.
When it comes to short rest, are you going to end up using your bench a little more for these next few games just to, keep these guys ready to play always?
If you look at our stats, the last 3 games, we've really used those guys, and we're going to need them in a week like this. There's no doubt about that.
Jerry, is there anything you could do to physically and mentally prepare for 3 games over a 6-day span?
I mean, Dana, if you have any ideas, I'd be welcome to listen to them. I don't know. We've done it different ways, and had success different ways, and failures different ways, and I mean there's no formula. Like last week we had a hard physical fight ball game against Valpo. Had 1-day turnaround to go to play at Detroit. Thought we really, really competed on a 1-day rest. You're coming down playing like I said, at Cleveland State. Maybe playing one of the most physical teams in Loyola that there is in the league. I mean, they just bump you, knock you, hold you. What the magic formula is for that, I'm open to any ideas.
If I could just go back to the scheduling, is this something that coaches bring to the league in the off season, or is this something that the league
voice our concern? You mean?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's an ongoing conversation from the conference coaches. To the league's defense, they've got think 2 facilities is all that's left where they don't control it. I think it's UIC and White State, right? Everybody else controls their own facilities, but, I mean, it is what it is. It'll clear up a little bit next year, I hope, because Bracket Buster will be gone. You know, I mean, that whole week will give you now full week play, and hopefully will eliminate any of these kinds of issues.
Jerry, what are the kinds of things that you'll have to repeat at Cleveland State with which you had success here in the first meeting?
Well, you know, first of all, you got to respect them there. I mean, they're going to be, you know, fired up. They're coming off a great one, like I said. They're a good basketball team. They're especially good at their place. You know, this is a team that beat Detroit in their building. So, you know, we know that we have our hands full, and we know, you know, a 60-70% effort game is not going to do it. You know, you better be playing for 40 minutes on all cylinders. But we've got to be able to guard them, and we've got to be able to handle, their defensive pressure, which they're so good at.
Is that their strength, Jim?
Yeah, they're year in, year out, they're one of the best defensive teams in the league, and they're going to get up and get you, and you got to make sure you don't turn the ball over. Obviously, coming off our Detroit game, that's a concern for me.